What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my Godzilla and Marvel comic book reviews. For those of you who've been asking me for many, many years, hey Sean, are you ever going to cover a Marvel book? Sean, are you ever going to cover a Marvel book? I've had countless comments, because I've only really primarily done DC and branched out to do some Godzilla stuff, because, you know, that's my bread and butter. That's like where my passion kind of lies. But seeing how Godzilla is once again stepping foot within the Marvel universe, this gives me an opportunity to talk about some Marvel stuff too. It's not to say I don't like Marvel, I do. It's just that's like a whole other can of worms jumping into, like, you know, if I start covering Marvel, like it's just too much to cover both Marvel and DC, like, you know, from a financial standpoint, and it's just a lot to keep up with half the time. So, but this is an exception because there's only going to be like 6 issues in this thing, and it's my boy Godzilla, and he's crossing over the Marvel universe after a really, really long time, because you know, back in, was it the 70s or the 80s or whatever it was, Godzilla had that Marvel run. I actually bought the little omnibus that they have for it, where it collects all the issues too. So that's some cool stuff. And they have some nice callbacks to that as well. But we're back. He's beefing with everybody once again. Isn't that insane to think about? Like, Godzilla is crossing over with Marvel and DC within the same year. Like, we're going to exist in the same month, a character appearing in both Marvel and DC, and he's beefing with everybody too. So, but again, we just had Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, which we're getting the sequel to coming out later on this year. So it's nice to see Godzilla back in kind of the Marvel universe, facing off against these various kind of cosmic-esque threats. So this is the first issue right here. It actually makes reference to the original 1954 film. Like, Reed Richards is there, and he mentions Sarah using the oxygen destroyer. So it's like they're taking the original, like, 1954 continuity and just kind of like adding onto it. I'm not sure like what other, like, where everything else kind of exists within this. I don't know if this is the current mainline Marvel stuff, but they do kind of reference some old Fantastic Four stuff. But I'm, again, not 100% sure. But basically the storyline this time around is Godzilla's there, the Fantastic Four has to try and stop him, and they do all this stuff, and they do kind of apprehend him, kind of like at one point, but then Ghidorah comes in. So this one is written by Ryan North and John Romita Jr., Scott Hanna inker, all these other different creative people. I also like this silhouette right here where they kind of throw back to a lot of the old school, like, kind of Marvel comic book panels right there with Godzilla and then incorporated, but you still got kind of that legendary Godzilla silhouette. I thought that was kind of a nice touch to kind of pay tribute to kind of what came before it as well. So, you know, reading them, they think to kind of like redirect the city's power grid to kind of take down Godzilla. However, Cosmic King Ghidorah comes into play. Like, basically Galactus has been kind of using him as a little pawn right there, and Silver Surfer shows up, and basically they're kind of screwed. Like, they can't do anything. So he decides to kind of redirect the power of Cosmic into Godzilla, and now we have, for the first time ever, Cosmic Godzilla. I mean, Ghidorah's kind of that silver chrome look. Godzilla kind of has that going for him too, and basically with the combined mights of everyone, they're able to kind of stop Ghidorah, because Ghidorah on his own and Godzilla, that's more of an even matchup, but having the power of Galactus there, who's kind of seems primed for wanting to take over Earth, but using Ghidorah as his little pawn, like his little pet, is kind of interesting. Eventually, like I said, they're kind of able to work together through various means, and they're able to stop him. Like, they pretty much just shed, like, the power cosmic skin, like, right off of Ghidorah. It's kind of cool how it all kind of peels off him like flesh, and it kind of goes off, and we kind of set the stage for more stories to come. So, because next time Godzilla's going to be facing off against the Hulk. I know he's going to face off against Spider-Man. I think there's the Avengers and all that as well, and probably a few others that I'm missing, but it is cool to see Godzilla back in the Marvel universe. They have a little nice note talking about how exciting this is, and I'm excited too. Like, it's been a really, really long time since Godzilla stepped foot in the Marvel universe, and having Galactus as a factor in, and bringing in some of his other classic Rogues Galleries members before, like, that we've seen before, is really cool. And plus, new Godzilla form, like, most powerful Godzilla unlocks, because Godzilla against Galactus, unless he has some sort of power-up, he's not generally going to win, because Galactus is just on a whole other, like, unheard of scale in terms of size and scope and everything. But Godzilla alongside the Marvel Universe, like, imagine if Godzilla kills Galactus by the end of this thing. That'd be pretty sweet. But I like this thing. It's fun. You get the familial stuff with the Fantastic Four. Having Silver Surfer in there kind of give his powers to help Godzilla take down Ghidorah was a nice little touch. And we're getting to see things we haven't really seen before. Like I said, Cosmic Godzilla. That's a whole new thing. Cosmic Ghidorah, Ghidorah used as the pawn of Galactus. Like, that's all fun, kind of cool, neat stuff, and it's entertaining to read. So this put a big smile on my face, and, you know, I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this little ongoing crossover. Curious to see how they, like, tie everything in together, and because Godzilla's going to face off against Hulk, he's going to face off against Spider-Man. I can't remember the others. I think Avengers was in there as well. I think maybe X-Men, and maybe just one other one that I'm missing. But again, it's all really fun, awesome, solid stuff. And if you're a fan of Fantastic Four, I'm sure you'll enjoy this. And if you're a fan of Godzilla, this is definitely one to pick up as well. So yeah, big thumbs up for me. That's going to basically do it for the Godzilla stuff. And also, first Marvel comic book on the channel, because like I said, this is Godzilla crossing over with Marvel. So that's really cool. Like, this puts a smile on, like, my face. So yeah, for those who've been wondering for the past couple of years, why don't you cover Marvel? Here you go. This is it. We're finally back. So, or we're finally here. So yeah. But anyways, looking forward to what comes out next for Godzilla. And yeah, so that'll wrap it up for the Godzilla and Marvel comic book reviews for the week. I'll be back once again with some more DC stuff. I just posted a video on Batman Hush 2, which I thought was a really solid first start. I got a few more comic book reviews to kind of get out today, but just want to kind of get these first two out there right out the get-go, because those are the two most anticipated ones. So yeah, but anyways, what did you think of the comic book? Let me know in the comment section down below. What are you most looking forward to in this little mini series with Godzilla crossing over the Marvel against the Marvel Universe? Do you think it's awesome that he's beefing with Marvel and DC characters within the same year? I mean, nobody's doing it like Godzilla. So yeah, but anyways, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.